And welcome back in to the 2021 Media Days here from the historic Anniston Country Club. I'm Danny Shears on behalf of the Calco County Quarterback Club. And next up, we've got another school on the stage. And to introduce that school is one of our fine sponsors from Anniston Orthopedics, Dr. Buddy Vandervoort. He's going to introduce our next school.
Thank you, Danny. We'd now like to welcome to the stage at the 2021 Calhoun County High School Football Media Day, the Walter Wellborn Panthers. Wellborn competes in Class 3A Region 5. Head coach of the Panthers is Jeff Smith. Today, Coach Smith has brought with him two players, senior linebacker Braden Dempsey and junior running back and defensive back Jesse Lewis. Coach Smith, we'll start with your opening comments.
Well, first I'd like to wish thanks to the Calhoun County Quarterback Club and the Anniston Country Club for putting this on. Y'all do an outstanding job. And there's a lot of behind the scenes that went into this before this even got going, and a lot of hard work. And Coach Odell that really kind of got all the schools together, was communicating with us and everything. I know how hard he worked on it, and I really appreciate that so much.
We'll open it up to questions at this time. Raise your hand if you'd like to ask one. I've got one, Joe. Yeah, you go back to Joe. I've got one first. This is for Braden and Jesse. When did you find out that you were being invited up here today, and what did that mean to you and your family to be invited up? Two players in the whole team.
We found out a few days ago, and it's an honor because we've seen players that have come before us come up here, and they become good leaders. We would like to come like good leaders and deliver.
Jesse, how did that feel to be honored to come up here today?
It meant a lot. Seeing other players come up here, and then it's my chance to come up here. Yeah, it means a lot to me.
Question in the back, Joe Eastep.
Braden, the last guy who played middle linebacker for Oxford, made a lot of tackles. You're a little bit different kind of player, I assume, since you're a little bit different size. How do you approach the middle linebacker position, having watched Jet play that way so long?
I kind of watched him. I know he was a little bit faster than me, so I'm pretty much going to be attacking the tacklers a little bit more. Jed had a little bit more range, so I have to be playing middle linebacker more up the middle.
Next question.
Coach Smith, right here. You guys play probably the toughest 3A region in the state. As a region overall, you guys that region had a lot of success in the playoffs last year. Going into this year, how are you guys getting ready to prepare for those teams in your region?
Well, we're getting ready just like we do every year. We had a good spring. We were able to get all 10 days in pads and get them all outside. We had a spring game with Jacksonville, and we had a good scrimmage with them, and was able to come back from that scrimmage and have film on it, and we played all our players and was able to watch our mistakes and try to fix those mistakes. And then yesterday we did our youth camp at the school, but yesterday was our 28th workout for this summer. So we went 4 days a week for 7 weeks, and we can definitely tell our players have gotten better throughout the summer. And and there's no hidden secret to success other than put in the hard work, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Next question.
Jeff, obviously you lost a generational player from last year. Who steps into all the different roles that he played, and can you tell us about them?
Well, you're exactly right, and talking about trying to replace Jet, you don't replace a player like that, but we're not the same type team we've been the last couple of years either. We've got some really good players, and we've got to develop them into their role and play up to their strengths. Braden is going to be a really good inside linebacker for us. But Braden is going to be playing more like an inside linebacker normally plays, instead of like how Jet was more like a hybrid player in there. And he's had a good spring. Quarterback wise, Grayson's not here with us, but Grayson Johnson's really had a good spring and a good summer, and he's worked very hard and didn't miss a single workout all summer long, and you can see the development in him. But again, he's a different type player than what Jeff was too. But you know, the thing that I try to do as a coach is I don't try to compare them to the players that they're replacing. I just try to get them in those positions and help them be as good as they can with their abilities in the positions they're playing.
Next question.
Hi, Coach. How crazy do you think things are right now when it comes to kids changing schools for various reasons? Some of them legitimate, some of them to try to improve their situation. You coached a high-profile kid when you were over in Hueytown with Jameis, so you know what that's like, that circus. Is it getting a lot worse?
It is getting a lot worse, and look, now you're talking to somebody here now, yes, I'm old school, and I'm a traditionalist, and you know, I played at Wellborn, and I was recruited by several schools when I was coming out of high school, and there were other teams around us that might have a little bit better program or a little bit better team than we did, but you know, I would have died before I'd have walked away from our team and went and played for somebody else. And you know, that to me, high school football or high school athletics is supposed to be take the best kids that you got in your community and you play other communities with them, instead of, you know, well, we think this team's going to be better than this team, so we're going to jump ship and go to this team. I just don't agree with that, you know. And I'm sure there's people who disagree with me on that, but I'm you know, I have my opinion on it too. You know, when we lost in the playoffs this year to 5. When we went back up in that gym after the game was over, and we shut the doors, and it was us coaches and the players, and I think Braden and Jesse both can back me up on this. What went on in that gym after that game right there, if I balled it up and took it out and sold it, I'd be a millionaire right now. Because those kids genuinely cared about each other and loved each other, and for anybody that would have been in that gym after that game was over and walk away from the team right there, I don't say how much, you know, because they wasn't bought in to what the program was about. And our program was about being a team, you know, put away your selfish self and do your part to help your team be successful. You know, play tough, and being tough means you got to be mentally tough before you're physically tough, working hard, and there's no secret to success. You got to put the time and the work in, and then acting right and having class and represent your school and community and your family like you're supposed to. And those are the principles that we stand on. And you know, with recruiting nowadays, I tell you all this, and I've had some really good players through the years at a lot of different schools. Well, 3 different schools, at Ohatchee and Hueytown and at Wellborn. And nowadays, you can get recruited anywhere. And with the way social media is now and huddles, you know, the players nowadays make their own highlight videos. I used to sit in there with those VCR tapes and pause record, making highlight videos on kids, and I don't do that anymore. They make their own highlight video, and they can get it out to anybody they want to in just a click of a button. You know, they email those highlight videos to everybody, and those things go out, and we send them out on for all our players and try to help them be successful too. But it don't matter really where you're at now. These colleges, I'm gonna go ahead and say bottom line, if they think you can help them win, they're gonna recruit you. If they don't think you can help them win, they're not going to. I mean, it's a win-win business. If they feel like that you can come in there and help their program be successful, then they're gonna recruit you. If they don't, they're not going to. And I'm speaking not just as a coach, but also as a father too, because I just had a son that signed and went through the recruiting process, and a very difficult recruiting process with it all being over the COVID year too.
Next question.
This question's for the players. I asked this question to the officer players. I know the tradition of Wellborn is very rich. Wellborn has always been known as a powerhouse program. When you put that uniform on Friday nights and you're getting ready to go out on that field, knowing you're playing for Wellborn, playing for your community, how does that make you guys feel?
It makes me feel good because I got the little kids looking up to me when I play on the field.
Like Jesse said, kids looking up to you. I mean, everybody knows when we put on that black jersey, we're gonna hit the hardest at any other team, and no one wants to play us. Coach can only get 9 teams to play us. You know, he has 32 teams, and none of them wanted to play us because we hit the hardest.
Let's follow up on that right quick, Doug. I know you got 2 more back there, but you've got the hill in the Calco County, you got the Creek Bank, you got the Valley. We know these places.
I would like to speak on that too. I was a player at Wellborn too, and I would sit down in the bottom of that locker room with that black helmet sitting in my lap, and I would thank God that I was just to get to walk out on them steps and play on the hill and wear that black helmet and wear that black jersey and represent the Wellborn Panthers. And that's how much it means to me, and it means that same way with all our players. And, you know, and if it don't, then they don't need to be with us. That's the way we look at it.
What makes the hill a special place for people to come in and try to come away with a victory, and it's so hard to do?
Well, I think it's one thing that we do out there that's right. And that is when we go out there and we play for more than ourselves. You know, we're representing our school, we're representing our community and our families, and, you know, not cutting on our community, but a lot of us come from bigger means, including myself. And that's a time for us to go out there and represent and really kind of show what we really are made of.
Next question.
Coach, I first met you a few years back when Our Network just had first started, off the words of Paul Benefield. He specifically told me to go by and talk to you, that you were a special guy, you have a lot of respect for, that you did it the right way. What does that mean for you, for somebody like Coach Benefield, to have that kind of thought and about you, and you carry that kind of weight in the coaching world?
Well, Coach Benefield's a great coach. I mean, you don't win over 300 games and not be a great coach. And he's a technician, and we used to battle with him when I was at Ohatchee, and then when I went to Hueytown, we were able to share ideas with each other. And then when I came back to Wellborn, of course that all stopped because we would compete against each other. And he's done an outstanding job with that program. I remember when he first went to that program, left Sylvania and took over at 5. And what they have developed into is really, very unique. And but I know how it's been done. It's been a lot of hard work that's went into it. And I think our programs are similar. I think our makeup is different, but I think the way we go about doing things is very similar.
Next question.
These are for the players. Braden, talk about the leadership that you have to bring to the offensive line this season. And then Jesse, you kind of had Calvin, Taquan, Logan last year. You're the starting running back. A lot of people haven't even seen you probably. I know I have. So talk about the leadership you have to bring to the running back group this year. And just talk about what you guys need to bring this season to continue this playoff run.
Well, I'm 2-year starter on O-line, and then we have 2 other players that come back, our center, Austin Smith, and our other guard, Myron Jenkins. So they kind of help me with the leadership, and we have our 2 new tackles, so we kind of have to keep up with them, make sure they're always hustling so they can be part of the O-line, so we can be a unit together.
This is my first year starting as running back, but I grew up with the same people that's around me, that's playing with me, so it's nothing different. Just go on the field and do my job.
Okay, next question.
Coach, you talked a little bit about the guys you brought. Who are some of the other guys on the team that you expect to make an impact this year?
Well, we've got a lot of them. I'd like to mention this about Dempsey. Dempsey is the only player that we got back that started in 2019 for us on the team that went to the semifinals. He's the only returning starter from that team 2 years ago. So we've really turned over, the team pretty much completely. Jesse and Braden and he mentioned Austin Smith and Marion Jenkins. Those are our only 4 starters from last year that we have coming back. But we give a lot of different awards out, and this year we give an Ironman award for everybody that doesn't miss a single workout. And in our junior high and varsity program, we had 20 kids, or not 20 kids, 20 young men that did not miss a single workout. And and Austin Smith, Marion Jenkins, one plays center, one of them plays guard. They're coming back. They haven't missed a workout. A player, Jalen Sappho. He came off a knee injury that he had a couple years ago, and he's playing tackle for us, and he hasn't missed a workout. And Andrew Salter, a strong tackle, hasn't missed a workout. I mentioned a few minutes ago Grayson Johnson and his brother Brady Johnson. You know, they had missed a couple days last year because they had to go get tested for COVID. And that might be the only 2 workouts that they've ever missed in their entire career up at Wellborn. And they put a lot of time in and worked very hard for us. Xavier Parker is playing wingback for us. Xavier Parker, Kevin Clark, and Marion Curry is our fullbacks. Jesse's playing tailback. Bo Neely is playing, he plays receiver and a defensive back for us right there. And hey, he's a very good athlete that we have out there. You know, I'm sure I'm leaving out some people. Octavius Allen is a player that you haven't seen a lot, but he's going to be a senior next year. He's done real well. We've got 2 defensive ends, Trey Downs and Cameron Jackson. It's got a lot of hype to them and everything, and they developed well this summer and they're working hard. Our defensive tackles, Jill Gay and Jasias Montgomery and Logan Nelson have put in a good summer too right there. And, you know, I've just seen a lot of improvement of a lot of our players, and you can definitely tell that that it means something to them, and that they put a lot of time and effort into it.
Next question, Cole.
Yes,
Sorry,
go ahead.
Next question.
Jeff, I know how to heart you took COVID precautions last year, and how much have you backed off of that during the summer this year, and then given what's going on now, do you feel like you need to revisit all that?
Well, I tell you, we didn't stop a lot of it. Every time that we leave the weight room or the locker room, we're still fogging, and every time we leave the weight room, we're still disinfecting all the benches and the bars, every day. And we hadn't stopped that. And anytime, like, we have a group in the weight room and they leave the weight room, we fog the weight room. If they leave the locker room, we fog the locker room. And I'm trying to do the best we can with it. You know, we've kept them in groups and trying to keep them in small groups, and we've got them spaced out in the weight room as much as we can. And not that I'm some kind of fortune teller or anything, but we kind of anticipated that this might pop back up, so we kind of kept a lot of the same things that we did last year, this year, to try to prevent it as much as we can, if we can prevent it. You know, a lot of times I don't know if we're doing any good or not, but we're going to still do our best and try.
Coach, unfortunately, we're out of time. We wish you guys the best of luck this fall. If you want to wrap up just a few seconds with some final thoughts.
Well, I'm very proud of our players this year and our assistant coaches. I've got a great bunch of assistant coaches that's worked, you know, tireless hours and put in a lot of time. I'd like to mention them as Judd Smith is our offensive coordinator, Jordy Houston is our offensive line coach, and Nick Burns does our wide receivers. And then on defense, Coach Allen Russell does our defensive line, and Coach Phillips does our defensive backs, and they went above and beyond. Our junior high coaches, especially Ben Carroll, has been over there all summer long working hard with us. And we've just got a new addition in Barry Ryan, who's going to be assistant junior high coach and take on our head basketball job. So our coaches have went above and beyond. I sure appreciate them a lot. And our players, again, I can't thank them enough for how their attitude and their work ethic they have. I hope I haven't forgotten somebody, because I probably have, because it's short time trying to get everybody in, but I couldn't be prouder of them than what I am right now.
Well, good luck to the Wellborn Panthers in the 2021